Hi everyone, this is an introduction video to Big Blue Button. Big Blue Button is a web conferencing program that's specifically designed for education. So things that you can do with Big Blue Button would be to host live classes. You can host student help sessions for small groups or one-on-one work with students. You can even host team meetings and work with other professionals within City High using Big Blue Button. So you're going to see that it's very similar to Google Meet or Zoom, but it has extra added features that make it more secure, much more interactive, and really meets the needs of distance learning much better than a Google Meet or Zoom. So this video is going to show you 4 things. Basically, how to get to Big Blue Button and set up a room, how to invite your participants, how to start a meeting, and how to upload a presentation. So these are the things that at the very minimum you can use that are easy to access, easy to set up, and will get you started very quickly with a web conference. So to use Big Blue Button, there is nothing to download. There are no files needed. You don't need to install anything on your laptop. Students don't need to install anything either, so that makes it great for this time in our situation. So it is hosted on a City High server and connected to your City High Gmail account, so it's secure. So to get started, you want to open your Chrome browser. And in the URL box or the search box, you want to type meeting.cityhigh.org. And you will see welcome to Big Blue Button. Now the first time that you log in, I've already been logged in, but the first time that you log in, you will it'll ask you to sign in with your City High Gmail. So it is secure. Only participants with a City High Gmail can join. So you'll see I'm logged in here, but it'll ask you to log in, and I'll go to the home. So this is what you see when you get to your home screen. The first room that it opens for you is called Homeroom, and I've changed that to Advisory. So if you click on the 3 buttons here, you can change your settings. This is where you can change the name it gives Homeroom to Advisory or to whatever name you want to give your class. It's a good idea to click mute users when they join. So the nice thing about Big Blue Button is it allows you total control over participants' microphones. So the advantage to this mute users when they join is that when students sign into your room, they're automatically muted, and then you have the option to unmute them whenever you choose. You can require moderator approval before joining. This is an extra security feature, which if you're only sending this to your City High students, you don't really need, but you can use if it makes you feel more comfortable, so that we avoid any Zoom bombing or anything that might happen like that. You don't really want to allow any user to start this meeting, and you don't want all users to join as moderators. So if you make changes, you click the update room, and it saves your setting for you. So if you want to start a new room, you would click, I've already made a live science room. If you want to start a new room, you click create a room, and you can give it a title. This will just be our test classroom, and we want to mute users when they join, and we click create, and our room appears right here. So this is the button for our room. It's as simple as that. So if you want to make changes, all you have to do is click on the 3 buttons over here, and you can delete it, you can change your settings, or you can manage the access that people have to that room. When you want to use it, if you click on it, click on the test. This will be the access key right here to invite participants. So if you want to invite someone, you click copy that. Okay, it will copy. And then you can email that to students or team members that you want to invite. You can post that link on your Google Classroom, or you can add that to a Google Calendar event or invite. So much the way that you invited students to a Google Meet session, you use the same procedure to invite them to your Big Blue Button meeting. So when you want to start your class, you just choose that class and click the Start button. So when you first log in, it'll ask you to check your audio. So you do have the opportunity as a participant to join listen only, but as the moderator, you want to check your microphone. So when you click the microphone button, it'll ask you to do an echo test. You'll say a few words. If you can hear yourself, you click yes. If you can't hear yourself, you'll click no, and it'll walk you through some troubleshooting steps. So this is the generic screen that you see when you open a conference area, but it does not have to stay like this. And I'm going to show you in just a minute how to change this. So you'll see it looks very much like other conferencing programs. So if you're used to using a Google Meet or Zoom, it looks very similar. So we'll start at the left-hand side. So here's where you can see your messages. One nice feature about Big Blue Button is it has a public chat that shows up in this area where all the participants in your room can post messages and you can chat back and forth. It also has a private chat feature. So if a student is uncomfortable asking a question in front of the whole class, they can send you a private chat and it'll appear in a different, in an additional little pane right here. So that's the chat. It has a nice shared notes feature where everyone in the room can access this and you can take notes. All the students can add their notes and then you can save this afterward. And then all of your users will show up here. So as the presenter, you have a square icon here. The students will have round icons. So when you click on your name, here's another nice feature. All of the participants in a room and the moderator can set their status. So this is a good way to get student engagement. They can mark themselves as away if they have to step away from their laptop for a minute. They can raise their hand to ask a question. So if I want to raise my hand, I click on that. Now I can see the hand come up on my icon. So if you look at the status, they have undecided, confused, sad, happy, applaud, thumbs up, or thumbs down. So you can already start to imagine how you can start to get some real feedback and engage your students with those options that you don't have in other programs. You, as the moderator, also have control over everyone's microphone. So you can mute them and you can lock that to where they cannot unmute themselves. Also, you have access to control their video camera, which for our students is not a big deal with their school laptops because all of the cameras have been disabled. But if they log on with their phone or they have an external webcam, you never know what you might see on a student's camera, so it's nice to have control over that. So you can shrink the shared notes. We can go back to having our chat right here, and this is where students and you can type in the chat. So in the middle here is the presentation. The largest part of your screen is the presentation area. So it'll show the class name up here, the room name, which this was our test. This is where you can start recording your session. So if you want to record this and post it for playback later, you click record. It'll tell you you're going to start recording. The session is now being recorded. You'll see the red button. You can pause it and stop it at any time. So I don't need to record this right now. The three dots over here give you some additional options. You can make it full screen, change your settings, end the meeting, or log out. So in a later video, we'll talk about some of these settings. This is your presentation area. You have annotation tools. You can hide this, hide the presentation, and then you can click here to restore the presentation. We'll talk later about these things that you can do. You have an interactive whiteboard and you can annotate and allow students to annotate right on the screen. This tells you some of the features here. Down here, this plus button, there are some really nice features that we'll talk about in a later video. You can ask a polling question and allow students to respond in multiple choice, true or false, yes, no, or you can set your own options in real time. This is what we're going to look at in a minute to upload a presentation. And you can also share an external video. When you click on this, it asks you for a URL. So if you want to watch a video with a whole class, and you want them all to be watching it at the same time, you can copy and paste the URL right there, and it'll show in this presentation area to the whole class. Down here are your controls. You can mute and unmute yourself. This is your audio button. If you want to share your webcam and appear on screen, you can click that. And if you want to share your screen, you can do that also. Now, in a couple other programs, the only option you had was to share your screen if you want students to see something, but that's not the case with Big Blue Button. So the most basic feature I'm going to show you right now is how to upload a presentation. So you want to go to the plus button, upload a presentation. You can find it, browse for files on your computer. And I know that in my BBB Big Blue Button folder, I have made an intro PowerPoint. Now, if you have a Google Slide presentation, you will have to convert it. Just save it as a PowerPoint, check your spacing. A Google Slide presentation is not a recognized file type, but it's just really 2 clicks to convert it to a PowerPoint. So when I want to upload a new file, I just want to make sure that the green check appears. This is a nice little feature. This allows the presentation to be downloaded by anybody in your room. So if you want the students during the presentation or afterwards to be able to get a copy of your presentation, you can click that, and then the students can download that, your PowerPoint presentation also. So when this green check appears, you want to click the upload button, and it'll tell you that it's uploading. Now this can be done before a meeting, so you can enter this room, and before you're actually going to start your meeting, you can upload your PowerPoint, or it can be done during. So I would probably want to fit this. You can fit it to width. I would probably go in and change my spacing a little bit so things aren't cut off. You know, you can change your slide size, so I would probably make that to a little wider slide size so that it can fit on there and it's not cut off. But it's very simple. So that's my PowerPoint presentation. I can click one slide at a time, or I can jump back and forth to slides right here. Let's say I want to go all the way to the end. I go to slide 7, and then I can go back to slide 2. Very simple to do that. So from here, you could hold a help session or hold a live class. You know how to let students chat, which was a common feature of other web conferencing software and programs. You can record. You can put a presentation in there, or you can simply share your screen. And these are the basic things that you need to know to get started with Big Blue Button. The next few videos will show you some in-depth detail on basic features and some more advanced features that you can work up to with just a little bit of practice. You'll look like a pro in no time. Thanks for watching.